What's up guys, welcome to another video. So today I just wanted to talk to you about 3 basic tips for keeping your Fn2 Type R healthy, so to speak. So nothing too technical, just 3 things that every day will help your car to run smoother and just generally last longer. I mean, if you love your car as much as I do, you want to give it the best treatment you can get, and this is just 3 simple things that anybody can do that I feel are really effective. But firstly, before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who comments, likes, every subscriber is just supporting the channel. In just a couple of weeks, it's quite amazing how much even the channel has even started to grow. So I didn't really expect that. I just started this just for myself, just to answer a few questions on these cars as I enjoy them. So thank you very much guys, every single one of you. So let's get started. So tip number 1 is what you'll notice when you start up your Fn2 Type R, or a lot of performance cars these days, they run a warm-up cycle, or what will happen is when you start it up, it'll idle a little bit higher when it's colder as opposed to when it's warm. So tip number 1, let it idle. 2 minutes of your life, 2 minutes. Let the car warm up before you drive it. In these, it'll idle about 2,000 RPM, maybe just a little bit under or a little bit over. And once it is gone through the warm-up process, what it will do is it will then drop to about 1,500 revs. And then you're free to drive. I mean, sometimes it's not always possible. You might be in an emergency, you might be having to escape the Russian mafia, or take the missus to deliver a baby. In those cases, it isn't convenient to wait 2 minutes, as every second counts. Tip number 2, if the car is not fully warm, as in the temperature is not, the water temperature is not up to heat, usually it will sit approximately halfway on your dial, about 90 degrees, so the water and oil temperatures are measured on the gauge to the left of the rev counter on these cars. If it's not warm, don't engage V-Tec. Yep, that's it. If it's not warm, don't engage V-Tec. You will damage the second cam, you will damage the car. These are a performance car, and any performance car, whether it's taken on a track or it's about to be driven well or hard, will have a proper warm-up. The oils work at a much better rate when they're warm. Same with your water temperature. You've got your gearbox oil that needs to warm up. I mean, that's not going to warm up very, very quickly, but at least let the water temp and the oil temperature gauge get up to that halfway point. Oh, so the camera's a bit shaky. I mean, it's this, either blame these UK roads, which council, anybody working for the council, we all pay taxes, there shouldn't be so many potholes on the roads. I know the argument isn't that simple, but you must understand our pain in these performance cars. Suspension isn't cheap. So, in my Type R, it sits just underneath the halfway mark. I believe if you do get something like a HKS filter, or it'll get a bit more heat soak, and it will maybe even sit just over the halfway mark on the temperature. Tip number 3. Tip number 3. Use good fuel. Now, fuel is expensive anyway. So if you've got a car that you enjoy and it's a performance car, why would you put the cheap stuff in it? I notice when I use, not naming any names, Tesco fuels, my car does not run as smooth. It does feel notchy and horrible. And when I first started driving and owning one of these cars, I didn't really put much thought into fuel, just put whatever in it. But now I prefer to go for something like the Shell V-Power. Now, fifth gear did a review on the fuels and the performance enhancing benefits of different fuels, and it worked out that using something like the Shell V-Power, they downloaded it before, it was a Golf GTI I think, and downloaded it after, and it came up about 5 brake horsepower up on the dyno. Now, I'm not saying use fuel as your power gains, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's obviously doing something better for the engine. Now, I feel the higher octane fuels do make your car run smoother, and not only that, fuel's expensive anyway, so if you're filling one of these up, you're only spending an extra 4 or 5 quid. Now, I mean, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm guessing a lot of you guys might spend that in coffee in a day. Sweets, smoking, all things that aren't necessarily good for you. So why not treat your car that looks after you to some, you know, good fuel, good stuff. So that's really all I want to go through today. Just 3 simple things that you can apply every day that will just increase your satisfaction on whether or not you are taking good care of your car. Now, what I probably will do is do a more advanced, or not so much advanced, but you know, maybe a few more things that you can do, you know, to improve the general well-being of your car, i.e., you know, oil change and stuff like that. But you can't. Not everybody can do that. It's always got to, you know, seek the advice of mechanics. So that is all today. If you have found this video helpful, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are already clued up on how to look after your performance cars, but also if you're anything like me a year ago, things like this, they wouldn't have come into mind. So simple, effective, efficient. So again, thank you very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Keep it stealthy. Take care.